And let's go for one more battle right now. However, this could get scary. So we're going to lead Arceus. We're going to see what we can take from it. And then how do we stop that team is the question. Amoonguss does pretty well. Like, the Amoonguss versus Buzzwole is a very scary matchup. I guess we just bring in Togekiss for that. And then we also have the Amoonguss. And is that enough to shut down a lot of steam? Because, like, Togekiss can dunk the Xurkitree. Kind of. I mean, I know it's, like, a bad matchup, but if I get, like, enough flinches, there's some chance if it's already weakened. So, I mean, at the very least, we have Outspeed on Scarf right there. Celesteela is going to be our biggest problem, I feel. And then the other Pokemon, Amoonguss gets good walling against a lot of that team. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting battle. I was gonna say something like, oh yeah, we only have to worry about Ghost and Steel type Pokemon sometimes, but Celesteela is one of the more ferocious Steel types that you could encounter. There's like a magical combination that if I brought the right 3 Pokemon, I think I had like a really solid chance of winning. But if he brings the right 3 Pokemon, he has a very solid chance of winning. That's just some of the random nature that we can get on the battle spot. And since I'm pretty much only always bringing Arceus, it could spice the battle up a bit more as well. And let's go. So, if we can get a solid enough lead and we can get like a free last resort like this could work. I think, alright, he went for that lead. Maybe he saw the Toxapex and he was thinking free taunt. Like, you look at my team. My team is taunt bait, except for the Arceus. And the Arceus only has 1 turn to set up. After that, I just one-shot everything on last resort. So, we're going to see what Tapu Fini goes for. And I think we can 2-shot even Celesteela. So, if we're at solid amounts of health, we can shrug off what his team is trying to do to us. But now it's on to what Tapu Fini is going to do. Nature's Madness. Oh, wow. That's fortunate. I mean, we'll see how much damage we take and what that means for later on in the battle. But we one-shot Tapu Fini now, and then as long as Celesteela... Well, if we were getting 2 hit KO'd by Celesteela, that would make it hard to work out anyways. So I can't wait to see where these numbers actually go. I hope that was hit point defense invested Tapu Fini. I really want to think that was like the most ferocious Pokemon that could have happened. If it has Nature's Madness and it wasn't going for offense, that is definitely a tank stall-breaking Tapu Fini. Because, like, I imagine just taunt Nature's Madness for something like the Toxapex. So we take a little bit on Life Orb. Now Landorus comes in. We one-shot Landorus. Ooh, the Intimidate. But we're still at +1. We one-shot from +1, right? This is a real battle. This is the scary team. And if Arceus just shows up and beats it just like that, oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be good. So now it's on to Celesteela. And he wasn't even... Like, I think that's Assault Vest then. Assault Vest Intimidate is really good, but you kind of need some of that filth. And then he brings in the Thundurus. We just outspeed Thundurus and win right now. Wow. Is it that easy? It's that easy, apparently. Holy crap, that was cool. Yep. I want to put this somewhere else in the video. Like, if I just lead the video with this, that's a great way to start off. Like, okay. It's like a mid-intro segment to this, and then suddenly you guys are going to hear, welcome back, Wolfpack, Verlisify here, and we are reviving the god of Battle Spot, and now he's even stronger than ever. So Arceus right now has Swords Dance Last Resort, 6 IVs from Hyper Training, and hopefully, if they don't bring the Cofagrigus, we should be able to do everything just fine. Looking at the rest of his team, and also my mic just kind of slumping down from its stand, what else is there to do and or worry about? Toxapex, Mantine should be enough to deal with that. I see the Toxapex, but Garchomp is kind of scary. And then Mantine can be our flying option just in case. And as long as they don't bring Cofagrigus, we should just be able to roll through that team and have a good time. So that's pretty much planned this time. On the last episode, wasn't really an Arceus themed. It was kind of like, hey, we're on the free battle spot and silly things are happening. So let's take it a step further and just go for some pure Arceus montage shenanigans. And, like, one thing about this is that the battle should go pretty quick, unless there's, like, maybe a little switching. Maybe Arceus, you know, there's, like, one stall situation, then Arceus comes in and wins. Except for that. We'll find a way, guys. We'll find a way. Their Configurigas just went for a Destiny Bond, but I switched in Toxapex, so Toxapex is at least going to get a free setup in this situation. I know what you guys are thinking already, that why not run Shadow Claw if Arceus is going to have so many problems with Ghost-type Pokemon, and while that would work, I play off the philosophy that Pokemon is not played in a vacuum. That, you know, you just bring other Pokemon to stop it. I have special defense tanks, since for the most part you're going to see special defense Pokemon as a ghost typing. This Configurigas is doing all kinds of like weird setting up stuff, but yeah, I won't get Toxic stalled if it's going to try to do anything like that if I bring a Toxapex or an Amoonguss, and for the most part I'm going to be able to get through it. Also, I don't have any Dark type Pokemon trained. Like, I was going through and I realized I don't really have any like bulky Dark Pokemon for just like destroying ghost types. That's all you need to do. You just need to have the right team composition built around it, and then you outplay the ghost type, and then you bring in the Arceus and you win. And that's why we won so many battles in the last episode. It doesn't make it to where I can focus on Arceus, but yeah, you're playing a bring 6 pick 3 composition, so you're gonna work. Even if you are gonna be walled out by ghost types, you remove the ghost types, and that's gonna be a GG for yourself right there. The problem is when you take out the Ghost-type Pokemon too well, like with this Toxapex, and then Earthquake from a Swampert. So that's a stab Earthquake after I get all my setup. It's only doing that much. So I don't want to switch out Toxapex to kind of prove a point on the Arceus. But looking at the rest of his team, I guess we can just switch out Toxapex and prove a point on the Arceus. So that Earthquake damage, super effective, being split into Arceus's insane stats. I guess we can eat that. Swords Dance. You know, we're an easy survivable 3-hit KO with the Earthquakes from a Swampert or something, so sure, let's do it. We already had that one with the Toxapex, but let's just bring in the beast, Swords Dance Last Resort, and then take out the opponent from there. So yeah, looking pretty healthy. Even with the Life Orb damage, we should be fine, and it would have been a 1-hit KO on the Swampert. I just didn't, you know, you set up the +3 on Toxapex. It doesn't feel good to give that up. Let's see what happens. So yeah, that's going to be Swords Dance, as we do. And then we use our one move, and then we go for the Last Resort. Ooh, he's got the Hammer Arm. Never mind then. Yikes. Still not the worst thing that could happen though, because super effective Hammer Arm is 200 base power effectiveness, but then the Stab Earthquake is 150. So we're only looking at 30% more damage, which isn't super insane. And then he loses speed, but that doesn't matter because we're super fast anyways. And now we just see if we take out his last Pokemon. I'd imagine he brought Garchomp if he went this, like he didn't bring Garchomp. If he did bring Garchomp, he would have gone straight into the Toxapex with that, but we had enough set up so we would have been fine, and that's the stats. So what do we have for the last Pokemon? I'm interested. Garchomp. What? So, if it isn't Scarfed, we still got this. If it is Scarfed, I guess bad things, but we'll see what happens. Last Resort. Do it, Arceus! Do it, Arceus! There it is. Alright, so yeah, no Scarferino on that, and the Garchomp gets one shot, and that's why I like it. You just destroy. This is why Last Resort is like one of my favorite moves ever. That it's just a little bit of setup. You can go Z Yawn, now you got speed. You can go Protect Last Resort in doubles. You can do Swords Dance Last Resort when you have a really fast Pokemon. You got so many combo opportunities that it's just amazing. And that's going to be a win just like that. And we are back. Also, I don't see any Pokemon that are ghost types. Finally, we might get some free reign. And that's just another thing. Like, alright, we can work our way around the ghost type Pokemon, but if they don't bring ghosts, then there's no problems. The biggest problem I see is that Audino goes Trick Room on the first turn while I try to go for a Swords Dance. That can kind of set us back a bit, but other than that, I don't see really. Maybe Close Combat on the Infernape, yeah, so we'll go like, we don't need Mantine, we can just go Toxapex to completely absorb anything that Infernape can do to us. Togekiss can outspeed and flinch, so yeah, let's have a little bit of fun. This battle looks like it should work out pretty well. We just outspeed everything, we have 1-hit KO potential on everything. As long as it's not the Infernape lead or the Trick Room on the Audino, it's going to be great. I don't even know what's, like, I'm trying not to have dead air, guys. I'm trying to be hype. It's just that it's all done. It's like, it's quick, it's simple, but we have to watch the animations. We have to take that time for it. It got to fill in the dead air, especially when there's like lagginess, or at least takes a little bit of time to load up everything. And I don't have any stories to talk about. Face cam. I guess I could talk about why I don't have face cam. Ooh. Snorlax trying to get fancy right there. Looks like it's going to go for Belladrum Confusion Berry. I mean, we can take it down, guys. We can take down the Snorlax. So that's pretty awesome to think about. That, you know, the Snorlax is a really scary Pokemon now they can just have full hit points and max attack. What? That's difficult to deal with. But we can find a way around it, and then we can get the one shot as we need it. Actually, Snorlax is really good at just abusing any setup, but actually has the Brick Break, which isn't bad. Yeah, like low base power, super effective, no setup on the Snorlax, nothing to really worry about, but that's a free last resort on the Snorlax, and we should have enough to KO it. Like, if this doesn't KO the Snorlax, then I'm gonna be upset. But like, this is last resort Arceus. We got enough damage. There we go. There we go, guys. It's just crazy like that. I was trying to think about some of the things I was saying. Oh yeah, no face cam. I get a lot of comments like why I don't do face cam anymore when I'm doing battles. That's mostly because my desk. That I bought a standing desk back when like Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, and that was mostly for like news videos and like crazy news hype. And I had my camera in a very specific location. Well, I moved my desk around, I kind of like changed things on my PC and whatnot. So I changed things up, and now the camera doesn't have the same angle anymore, and my green screen has kind of gotten sloppy. So the only way that this works is like now the camera's at a lower angle, so you have to see more of the roof, and that makes it to where the green screen doesn't work anymore. Pretty much, I was forced to change because the standing desk didn't have any. It wasn't in an optimized spot where it was, so the standing desk kind of ruined everything while helping my posture out. And then it's also that the desk adds, I forget what it's called, but it actually, you just like place it on top. So it's not like a 100% its own standing desk. You just kind of place it on top of a desk, so it raised up my computer screen. So now none of my camera angles work, and I'm going to try to, I'm going to try to figure out a way around it, but it's been 6 months and I haven't done anything about it. Also guys, as I was going on that story, once we got through the Snorlax, as I said, everything on his team goes down. And he had no reason to really lead the Infernape, unless you know me, and unless he could have predicted that I'm Verlisify and I'm recording my battle spot Arceus and I'm going to lead Arceus and try to win. Unless he made that prediction, there was really no reason to bring it because I had the Togekiss to lead. Boom, I had Toxapex to lead. Maybe I was going for Toxic Spikes or just trying to stall out anything. So that really sucks for him, and even the Mantine gives him problems. So really, he had no reason to lead the Infernape, so I can technically outbait some of those Pokemon, like the fighting types, and then just bring in Arceus anyways. And then everything else on his team got one shot. The power of the Swords Dance Last Resort Arceus, guys. I say it's fun, even though it doesn't sound like fun. Like, you know, one of those things when it's too easy? I'm not trying to be like super cocky, it's just that if you don't have the right team build against it, you're going to have a hard time. So Tapu Koko is going to change things up, though. Tapu Koko is like the issue. So I'll go Arceus, Amoonguss, so we need Amoonguss to deal with the Tapu Koko. And then what worries are Amoonguss? Charizard, so Mantine, but then it's double special defense tank. However, the physical side, Mamoswine, actually Mamoswine isn't even that big of a threat for the Toxapex either. We could bring Togekiss, because that hurts everything. I don't know. I really want to bring Mantine though. It's a tough call. Like, what about Scizor? What can Scizor do to the Mantine? Because we Scald Burn it, and then we heal up, and then we're fine. So I guess we're gonna try out the Mantine. Like, it's a really good Pokemon. I don't want to bring it into that much physical, but their physical doesn't hit us super effective. So we should be able to do this. And if Amoonguss gets them to sleep and they switch out or whatever, we're fine. And as long as they don't bring Tapu Koko, like, if they don't lead it and I get free setup because they go for, like, Mamoswine or something, and then Arceus just one-shots on Last Resort, it works out either way. So it's mostly just, if Tapu Koko leads, I'm not faster than it, and that's a problem. That's a problem. But, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Because there's not a lot that's faster than that 120 speed. I wouldn't expect to see Tapu Koko on, like, a legendary battle format. So I guess that means we just go into the Amoonguss, and we call it good. Then we see how well Amoonguss deals with the Tapu Koko. Because we resist both stab and we're a special defense tank. He has the Whimsicott, so that's kind of not going to be able to get spored, but it's weak to the poison. and so is Tapu Koko. So if he did double fairy into my Toxapex and Amoonguss, nah, that's not good. He did not bring the Whimsicott today. I think we can be safe in saying that he didn't bring the Whimsicott. Z move. Oh boy. He wants it. He wants it done, guys. He wants it over. And also, let's say this does too much. Nah, there's no way this can even do too much damage. Because, like, whatever his next hit is going to do, it's going to be less than the Gigavolt. So even if this does, like, 70%... Okay, if this does 70%, then we'll have problems. I haven't seen this damage calculation before. Nah, we're good. Other than that, we just eat the hit, we go back up to full, and then we Sludge Bomb everything. He's got the Nature's Madness. His Wow, Nature's Madness from that health doesn't really do too much else. So this is just full offensive Tapu Koko with the Nature's Madness. And then Z move, so he actually loses damage on that Life Orb. If he had Life Orb, we could just stall him out forever, though. And eventually the electric terrain is going to go away, and that's when we can spore the Tapu Koko. So yeah, unless he brought Whimsicott, then he doesn't have a switch for my Spore. And if he did bring Whimsicott, then the Whimsicott literally doesn't do anything to me. So he might try to switch so he doesn't get spored, but on that we'll be fine. And then he comes in and eats like a Sludge Bomb. Tapu Koko with a U-turn. Doesn't even have Dazzling Gleam? Has Nature's Madness, no Dazzling Gleam, U-turn, and then Thunderbolt. And then Hidden Power, so yeah. Interesting. But now he brings in the Mamoswine, and Mamoswine goes to sleep for free. So I will take that. Unless it's like Lumberry Mamoswine or something silly, we'll be good to go. We'll be good to go. Cool. And Giga Drain, so we'll get all of our health back, and then we can like two-shot it, and then that will give us up to full. And not a two-shot, but still fine. So yeah, like it's good when you can do enough damage on the Giga Drain to where you don't even have to synthesis, and we can even survive like an Icicle Crash, or we can survive something as a full hit point investment on the Amoonguss. We have Regenerator if we need to get enough health in the pinch. Mamoswine wakes up. Ooh. Icicle Spear. Interesting. That's solid damage. Can we survive 3? I think we could survive 3. Barely survive 3. Alright, that's on odds right there. Gonna hit that Giga Drain. Oh, is that a crit? Nah, it looked like it was about to take more damage off. And then just be like, surprise crit on the Giga Drain. So that's gonna be that into that. And then we can Regenerator. We can get a lot of our health back. So one thing, we can go into Arceus now. We can go into Arceus now. Because if he's using the Icicle Spear, and we know that's not Life Orb on Tapu Koko, I think Arceus can just survive the Thunderbolt. So we take a little bit of damage from the Mamoswine, and it was an Ice Shard as well. So yeah, this is where we Sword Stance, we take out the Mamoswine with the Last Resort, and then we should be able to survive one Tapu Koko hit as we kill it with the Last Resort, and then the rest of the team goes down. Maybe the Life Orb might mean we take too much damage. Knockoff. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because, like, his team is so frail that we don't need the Life Orb damage. So if we technically count in for, like, 2 turns of Life Orb, the knockoff is kind of what we see right there. As long as we take less than half from a non-itemed Tapu Koko, we should be fine as well. This is where things get fancy. Oh, he didn't even go for the Ice Shard. I thought he would have tried to thread in just like a tiny bit of damage with the Ice Shard. We know that that's not a threatening amount either. So I kind of anticipated that when I was doing my mental calculations right there. So everything else were faster then. And he didn't have Ghosts, so I think we get the one-shots. Yay! I think we just kind of cheese it out. Just like that. Has Charizard. Could be his Mega. Probably is his Mega, but we outspeed it, and then Last Resort damage is still going to be pretty nuts. Even without the Life Orb, we have to KO. If we can KO Snorlax with a Life Orb, we destroy Charizard without a Life Orb. That's like all it is. And it's not even Charizard X. There's no potential bulk. Come on. We can do it. We can do it. And outspeed, Last Resort. Yeah, I'd like Charizard's just done. And then we know. So it's all if we survive. So if we don't survive, I'm going to go into Amoonguss, but I'm going to switch out into the Mantine. That way I can get double Regenerator. and then we'll just be back at nearly full, and then I can just kind of synthesis, and we'll have the Tapu Koko. So now here's the damage. Here's where it all adds up. So Thunderbolt from Tapu Koko. Yeah, no Life Orb. That works out for us. And then we Last Resort. GG. And technically under that situation, well, I mean, it was a good thing I switched because the Z move. And if he did have Life Orb, I think that's a 2-shot. So at least we got to scout it correctly. And yeah, so in like a weird non-Life Orb Tapu Koko situation, where we could actually set up, we could take 2 hits and then just Last Resort, but then Life Orb KOs us anyway, so whatever. We got a stall and we found a really strange win in that battle.